Hey everyone, here's what's coming up tonight on News Center Now. A community spanning an entire region is stepping up to honor the 7 lives lost in a deadly New Hampshire motorcycle crash.
So you're looking for that special someone and you've decided to look online, a dating app. Awesome. But what's not so awesome? That picture of yourself you posted in your profile. Tonight, how consultants can help you look better and maybe get a better date. This is News Center Now.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Lee Nelson.
And I'm Lindsay Mills. Thank you for being with us tonight. We're learning more information today about the pickup truck driver charged with killing 7 motorists in Randolph, New Hampshire last week. According to court documents filed today, Vladimir Zukovsky is accused of operating the pickup truck erratically and driving across the double yellow center line.
Zukovsky was scheduled to be arraigned in the Granite State this afternoon, but instead filed a waiver through his attorney, so he entered a not guilty plea and agreed to a bail order. The judge ruled Zukovsky is a threat to the public and ordered he be placed in preventative detention at the Coos County Jail. His trial, as of now, is set for November.
You're not blood related, but you are family. In many cases, you're actually a closer family than you may be with your own real family.
Less than 48 hours after learning the news of 7 people killed in that New Hampshire motorcycle crash, Stephen Allison started planning a memorial ride to pay tribute.
He knew he had to do something for his fellow riders and veterans. What he wasn't expecting, though, was the interest and support from motorcycle groups from every New England state and beyond.
There's nothing in this world other than my wife that puts a bigger smile on my face than when I put that thing in gear and I start pulling out.
Riding is in Steve Allison's blood. The Air Force veteran learned how to ride a motorcycle when he was young. His dad, a Marine, loved to ride.
He's brought me up in the old school sense of what it means to be a biker.
Riding has gotten him through a lot, like the death of his first wife.
It might be your only family.
He joined one motorcycle group, then another.
It's a feeling that a lot of people will never experience.
Finding friends and comfort.
You never know when something so close to home is going to happen.
But when tragedy struck, that's when he realized how many friends he really has. He started planning a tribute ride for the 7 people killed in a New Hampshire motorcycle crash.
This will be an escorted ride.
A ride to the site of where it happened. But one post on Facebook led to one share, then another. The next thing Allison knew, he was hearing from dozens of motorcycle groups and hundreds of people who wanted to take part from all across New England.
The response from the biker community, the veterans community, and just the community in general has been enormous. It's far more than I could have ever expected.
On his bike, on the road, his happy place.
It's the closest thing that you can ever have to the feeling of total freedom.
And now he's using that to help ease the pain of others.
It's why bikers and veterans are such patriotic people. The veterans have gone and they put their life on the line and lay down their lives to give us this freedom to be able to do these things.
And the ride for the Fallen 7 is scheduled for July 6th. It's free, but donations will be accepted to support Marine Jarheads Motorcycle Club.
Great. All right, let's turn our attention to the weather now. Keith, it started out beautiful and has gone steadily downhill as the day progressed.
Yeah, quickly. The morning was beautiful, and then the clouds rolled in. Now here's the rain, just moving into the Bangor area, and out towards Holton still have some time left. Just a couple of light rain bands, still watching the downpours just crossing into western Maine. And we're watching this area back here because this is where there's more atmospheric support for the possibility of heavy downpours and maybe some thunderstorms. At this hour, it has yet to materialize, but I'd give it another hour or so and see if we do kick any of those thunderstorms into gear. The back edge of this is really clean. Unfortunately, in Maine, it's just going to be a little bit too late, I think, even in western Maine, to see the sun set here. but it will go clear overnight tonight in a lot of spots as the back edge is approaching. You can tell where it's been nice more of the day, Caribou, Millinocket, and then down into Portland, 58 degrees. And kind of a raw feel right now. Showers, again, maybe a rumble of thunder. We got to get those kicking though if we're going to do that. It's hard to get thunderstorms to start overnight. They continue around 2-3 in the morning, and then tomorrow is a cloudy start. It looks more like we might be able to burn some of that cloud cover off in the middle of the day. The thing you'll notice though, guys, is the humidity increase. We'll talk more about that because I think that's a feature that'll be with us through this week.
Yeah, all right. Well, that's means summer.
Absolutely. Checking out some more headlines now. A judge has sentenced Shauna Gatto, the woman found guilty of beating 4-year-old Kendall Chick to death, to 50 years in prison. Gatto leaving the Lincoln County Courthouse today in tears, not responding to reporters' questions. After a judge thoughtfully and at times sympathetically gave his verdict, she was found guilty of murdering the little girl in the Wiscasset home where they lived with Chick's grandfather in December of 2017. We will have much more on this story coming up in the next 90 minutes on News Center Maine.
The acting Customs and Border Protection Commissioner, John Sanders, is resigning. According to a spokesman for the agency, Sanders told employees today that he would be stepping down from his post on the 5th of July. His resignation follows reports of children living in squalor at border stations where they often lacked child care, bedding, even basic hygiene items. This announcement came on the same day that Melania Trump, the First Lady, announced that her spokeswoman, Stephanie Grisham, will be the new White House press secretary.
Philadelphia's mayor says there is no threat to air quality after this, a massive explosion at an oil refinery on Friday. The health department is aggressively testing the air for levels of hydrogen sulfate, hydrocarbons, and carbon dioxide, all of which have come back negative so far. The 3 explosions appear to have been caused by a mixture of butane and propane. 2 men involved in a horrific Lewiston brawl last summer that left 1 man dead were arrested again over the weekend.
23-year-old Pierre Musafiri and 18-year-old David Toyoshimi were taken into custody after reports of a big fight downtown. Police say there was no fight when they arrived, but the pair was shouting and wouldn't cooperate with police. Both were charged with disorderly conduct. Musafiri was also charged with violation of condition of release and refusal to submit to arrest. Both did post their bail.
Now, in April, Musafiri was charged with misdemeanor assault after police say he kicked Donald Giusti while he was on the ground badly injured. Toyoshimi also told police he had been part of the fight, but no charges have been filed against him for that at this time. Governor Janet Mills signing a new net neutrality policy today. It restricts internet service providers from blocking, slowing down, or speeding up delivery of online content at their discretion. Under this new law, internet service providers that are contacted by the state or contracted by the state of Maine must abide by the Federal Communications Commission's Open Internet Order, which was enacted in 2015 and then later repealed in 2017. The law will take effect in the next 90 days.
Facebook's introduction of its new Cash, Libra, may be causing headaches for other purveyors of cryptocurrencies. The FSB, which is the Financial Stability Board, is warning that wider use of cryptocurrencies, like Bitcoin, for example, by retail shoppers would call for closer scrutiny by regulators, and it might trigger more oversight. The FSB chairman, speaking at the G20 summit in Japan, said that technological innovation could make the financial sector more efficient and inclusive, and that cryptocurrencies do not currently pose a risk to financial stability, but he added that other regulators were working to assess issues such as consumer protection and preventing money laundering.
Walmart offering a new option for families using Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program or SNAP benefits to pay at grocery pickup locations. The new SNAP payment option makes it easier for more customers to pick up their groceries without leaving their cars. Walmart says it's the first retailer to offer this method of payment for online grocery pickup. Customers select EBT card for the payment option and then provide it to the associate when their grocery order is delivered to their car. Walmart plans to have more than 3,000 pickup locations by the end of this year. Coming up, we're going to learn about the Federal Trade Commission's new plan to put a stop to those annoying robocalls.
I hope it works.
Yeah.
And have you ever asked for advice when it comes to using a dating app? Well, it turns out there's money to be made for the people giving out pointers.
How about this? According to Chinese researchers, a chemical found in some common products may be bad for a woman's bones. I think I swallowed a fly as I inhaled. Yeah.
Okay.
They studied nearly 2,000 American women between 2005 and 2010. Those who had higher levels of the chemical triclosan in their urine were more likely to have bone issues later in life. The chemical is used as an antibacterial in various personal care products, including hand sanitizers, soaps, toothpaste, and mouthwash. The Food and Drug Administration actually banned it from being used in hand sanitizers in recent years, but it is still found in other products.
Swallowing flies is really healthy for pregnant women, though, so you're just fine.
We
with
need
that.
to study on that.
Health experts say doctors need to talk to their younger patients about the dangers of e-cigarettes. It is the latest recommendation from the U.S. Preventive Services Task Force. And doctors obviously are still urged to talk to kids and teens about staying away from tobacco, as nearly 90% of smokers try their first cigarette before they're 18. But for the first time, the task force is now including e-cigarettes as a tobacco product in this. And here's the big reason why. Studies have shown that 3 million high school students had vaped in 2018 compared to 1 million teens who used regular cigarettes in that same year. The Federal Trade Commission is making a new attempt to help people plagued by unwanted robocalls.
They're calling it Operation Call It Quits. The FTC says telemarketers are responsible for more than 1 billion illegal robocalls each year. The agency is joining forces with other federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies to implement this new campaign. Specific details on how it's going to target those robocalls has not been released, but the ultimate goal is to drastically reduce the number of harassing calls. The FTC says it receives 10,000 complaints a day. I'd believe that.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Later on now, a big name store is expanding its delivery service to include alcohol.
Yeah, and Keith will be expanding on that forecast we heard at the beginning of the broadcast as well.
Poor Keith.
So you got Bumble, you got Tinder, you got the League we just heard about, Match. There's all these apps to help you find that special someone, except not everybody is finding that special someone always.
And if you're watching the behind the scenes on Facebook Live, you just witnessed us polling the newsroom for all of those names.
Right.
Well, if you're unlucky in love, there is some help on the way. And this is pretty interesting and unique. Janelle Bludow tells us more.
Dating apps have created a new booming business, dating app consultants. So how do they work? Let's connect the dots. Dating apps are nothing new, and it's not surprising anymore when you learn someone met their significant other online. But not everyone is setting Tinder on fire, and that's where the consultants come in. They don't give you a makeover so much as your profile. The big advice is to lose the dimly lit photos and impersonal selfies. Put some actual effort into your profile pic and use brighter pictures that show off your playful side. And your actual profile shouldn't read like a resume or generic post seen on every app. So instead of claiming you like long walks on the beach, make a joke. Quote your favorite song, show off your personality. Some consultants will even do your swiping for you, responding to matches and helping break the ice. Fees range from a few hundred to a few thousand, but finding that perfect person, priceless. Connecting the dots, I'm Janelle Bludow for H-Town Rush.
It's got to start with a good picture, right? I
Yeah.
mean, it just, if you don't have a good picture, you're going nowhere on those things, I would assume.
You would want good, but not good. So
Okay.
here's the thing I think
Like
about
realistic?
this.
It should be
yeah,
realistic?
so
Yeah.
my friend has been doing this for a while in Boston. He's hasn't settled down yet, but he was saying, and it's true, his picture is like fairly accurate. If you go with the best picture ever taken of you, then people are going to be disappointed.
Right.
You know,
Right.
about what you look
Interesting.
like. And so that's a common thing. I think people pick like the best photo ever taken of them.
Right.
It's blown out. You can't see any like wrinkles or anything.
Right.
And then people
Interesting.
get there and they're like,
You don't look like your picture.
yeah. So I think
Yeah.
you want to set expectations like in a reasonable place.
Maybe at like a B+,
Yes.
and then hope to like, then they'll go like,
Impress them.
oh.
Because if they're going to go on a date with
Right.
you looking like whatever that is, then you can go on. you
Yeah,
know. And then there's
okay, I got
personality,
it.
which you can't account for until you get there.
Right.
That's,
Right.
So he learned to stop taking doing the dinner thing,
Yeah.
and they started doing drinks because it was non-committal for both parties.
Right,
Oh, there you go.
Because he met a girl one time who showed up and was like, "You're a lot shorter than I thought. I'm just gonna leave." That was it.
That would
That
happen
was
to me.
it. Yeah.
That happened to me.
Oh, man.
Cute.
That, like, I
That's
don't
brutal.
care. I don't care who you are. That hurts.
Yes.
Well,
that
if you're
it does.
going on your Tinder
Yeah.
date tonight, you'll need the umbrella,
Right.
right?
Yeah, exactly. Or Bumble or whatever the kids use these days. All right, here's a look at it. Southwest to northeast, we got a couple of downpours in there, although thus far there haven't been a ton of them. And as I mentioned before, if we don't get the thunderstorms going on the backside here shortly, they're not gonna pop up. So we'll see. We'll give them another 45 minutes or so, see if they can bubble up on the back edge. But so far, it's been light to moderate rain that's moving through. The back end of this is pretty sharp, moving through Vermont, and these are the kind of setups that can give you a great sunset. Western Massachusetts, maybe as far as Worcester, probably not going to get into Maine in time for sunset. Although, let me think about this. We got 3 hours. Maybe Western Maine will get a sliver of sun before the sun sets here. Current dew points, I want to show you the approaching dew point doom here in the mid 60s, upper 60s. We haven't had a stretch of weather this season that's been truly humid yet, and we're going to start that tonight and into tomorrow. So I don't know if you need an air conditioner tonight, but you might over the next few nights just because it's so sticky out there. There's the showers, thunderstorms. The back edge again tries to come through about sunset tonight, but it's into the wee hours in the morning, if you will, over down east Maine and northern Maine. And then tomorrow we start with clouds, but we should be able to break those clouds up a bit and get some sun in the afternoon. It's still sticky, much warmer inland than it is along the coast. And that's a theme you'll really see on Thursday. Look at these temperatures on Thursday along the coastline versus inland. We're going to be, 66, 67 in Portland, into the 80s in Freiburg, probably Lewiston and Augusta as well. Some thunderstorms possible on Thursday afternoon. And then Friday looks hot. Dew points again are going to be the theme though through tomorrow into the mid 60s, and then sticking around through Thursday in the mid 60s. Perhaps a shot even into the upper 60s for dew points on Friday and Saturday. And we're going to combine that on Friday with some warmth. There has been an increasing looking sea breeze for the coast, so it might be just more comfortable there, around 80 degrees, but it will be mid 80s and even upper 80s. Place like Freiburg, say it's 87 over 65 at dew point. The heat index will be around 90, so a little bit higher actually. So it'll be pretty high. The weekend still looks okay. I think there's some thunderstorms on Saturday with some hail in the afternoon, so that'll be interesting. Scattered showers on Sunday. Right now, if I had to choose, I would choose Saturday of the 2 days, and then quieter. Next week, I don't see anything that jumps out at me about this big vacation week coming up next week. It seems fine.
Good.
I don't see a big heat signal that says "Yay, 4th of July," but also nothing terrible. So
We'll take that.
that's kind of what we
We
go
will
for
take
around
that,
here.
yeah.
Was it last year around 4th of July that was super, super hot?
I
I think it was like the day before. Yeah. I remember being out on Peaks Island and it was 93 degrees
Oh,
out there,
okay.
which never
Wow.
happens. Never happens. I think it
No.
was the 3rd of
Ask me
July.
what happened yesterday, I'm good.
You
Don't
got
ask
it,
me
yeah.
a year
No, I
ago.
get it. I understand.
That's not a thing that I'm gonna
Or when Xander was 2, you remember that too. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Thanks, Keith, very much. Hey, listen to this. Sam's Club is now offering same-day delivery of alcohol in some states. Sam's Club members can now have wine and beer and spirits delivered right to their doorstep along with their groceries when they order through Instacart. The same-day alcohol delivery now available at more than 200 Sam's Club stores in 12 states, with plans to expand to more cities in the coming months. Maine not on the list right now. The shoppers, of course, must be over the age of 21 and are required to have a valid ID at the time of delivery. Bank of America is making it more convenient for consumers to manage their finances on the go.
It's launching a new digital debit card for its mobile banking app. The digital debit card has the same protections and benefits as a physical card, and it is immediately available to use in the mobile app. The mobile wallet allows customers to pay in stores, in apps, and online. Customers can also get cash and make deposits at Bank of America's cardless ATM machines. What's more, in the coming weeks, Bank of America plans to launch mobile orders, which will allow customers to place orders for foreign currency through their mobile app. Well, this was trending on Twitter today. You have to see this. A beluga whale's squishy melon. Take a look for yourself. According to Mystic Aquarium, a beluga whale's melon is very useful. I thought it was like twerking, you know, the twerk dance. So they're made up of lipids and are incredibly flexible. They're able to manipulate them in order to create different sounds to be able to communicate with other beluga whales. And you see the diver playing with it there. Isn't that something we all wish we could do?
Oh, that's really wild. We actually saw beluga. We'll bring Cindy in here. We actually saw those whales in Atlanta, right at the aquarium in Atlanta.
Yes, yeah, they're
No
really,
way.
Kind of
really
freaky.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
very unusual.
I just start thinking of that children's song, the Baby Beluga
Baby
song.
beluga.
I know. This is what comes to
We
mind.
need to work squishy melon in there somehow.
Right.
They do.
Right.
Because at first I didn't know what you were talking about.
Oh, right? Where are we going with this one?
We got a lot more news coming up on News Center at 5:30. We are hearing from the owner of the company that employed the man accused of killing those motorcyclists in New Hampshire. Vladimir Zhukovsky had only been working for this company for 3 days before that horrific crash. The owner was clearly shaken by this whole thing. We're going to have much more from him. Plus, the Los Angeles Dodgers say that they're going to extend the protective netting at Dodger Stadium after a fan was hit by a hard foul ball over the weekend. And we're going to ask you to weigh in on this as well. We want to know what you think about really the push now for ballparks to do this. So back
Sounds
to
good.
you guys. That's ahead at 5:30.
That's good.
Very interesting. We'll see you guys at 5:30. We're back with Raindrops after this.
All right, this is pretty cool. Last night, they launched Falcon Heavy, this Elon Musk's baby here. But you can see it actually on a couple of the channels of the satellite.
Oh,
See
cool.
that?
Yeah.
Launch it right out of there. Watch it right there.
That's so cool.
This channel actually is water vapor. And, okay, two things that are awesome. Also, do you notice it punched a hole in the water vapor right there?
Yeah.
I didn't notice that until I saw it on the big screen. So that's punching a hole in the cloud cover as it's going through.
That's
It picked
cool.
up as water vapor. But the reason you're seeing the water vapor as it goes up, any ideas on this?
No.
I like to quiz you randomly.
I
Okay,
know.
good. It's because the fuel that they use is
Oh.
liquid hydrogen
Oh.
and liquid oxygen. So when you combine hydrogen and oxygen, you get H2O, you get water vapor. So it's basically seeing the trail of the fuel's byproduct, if you will, coming up into the atmosphere. So that's pretty awesome. I had a friend who lives down there in Florida who took a video of it going over his head too. It's amazing how well they're doing this, how often they're doing these launches at
Do
this
we know
point.
if there was a car on board this one?
No car this time. That was
Okay.
promotional only. What a waste of a Tesla, though.
News Center 8 at 5:30 starts right now.